Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment. You can listen to The Mike O'Mara Show at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Well, what have we here?
It's a podcast.
Fine.
And what excitement we have today.
It's The Mike O'Mara Show with Mike O'Mara and Rob Spiewak. Now, here's Mike.
Now, what were you saying to me before the show about you never know what runway you're going to land on? What were you saying about
when I pitched an idea for the show?
Some kind of cryptic terminology.
When I had an idea for something we could talk about, and I thought it would be sort of funny to point out a little bit of ineptness on my part. And you said, well, how's that supposed to make me feel? Normally, I would think you'd love this a bit that would make me look stupid.
All right. So, no, my point
and
is
it just
that
landed
calling
wrong
yourself,
It landed
an
like a
idiot.
Delta airplane in Canada.
Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Upside down.
Calling, in my world, calling yourself an idiot is a way to cover your own ass for being an idiot.
Well, I've never purported to be anything else.
Yeah. And in it's like sometimes, but I don't think you are an idiot.
Well, thank you. I don't think you're an idiot either.
I think I didn't need that from you. I know I'm not an idiot.
Well, I'm just saying that we respect each other.
But
at that
I'm
point.
saying
I don't think either of you are idiots.
Thank you, Josh.
If we're just throwing an idiot.
Well, Josh,
do you
there's something
understand
I want
where
to
I'm
talk
going?
to you about.
Do you understand? I think you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, why don't you explain it?
Okay. There's no need to glorify the fact that I am inept at certain things. And it's not funny
It's not
because
glorify, I would think, of putting it out there as kind of an excuse to not have to really learn the mechanisms. That's it. I will fully admit to you that if I was to take a full day of study, no, that's not true because I kind of know where everything is in my board, but I don't know what your world is like that.
Well,
but
the initial
when you
setup,
say I'm just an idiot, you can say that's like when somebody says, if somebody doesn't want to do something around the house, they say I'm not good at it, and that completely.
Well, no, I don't think it's the same because I'm always eager to get in there and try. I didn't call Josh after I floundered for like 3 hours.
You don't want to. But
How do you mean?
Because the technical end of things for us would be better if we paid more attention to it, if we studied it more.
Well, for example,
it was a more
That's my
complicated
point.
issue.
What's that?
It was a more complicated issue.
Okay.
For
So
example,
it wasn't,
the setup.
It wasn't
we're
just
back
the wires.
We're back to my original setup today, which I do totally understand, and worked with Mackie to build the fact that we could do it. I mean, this was something I did do on my own. But the new one, which was supposed to simplify, actually was more complicated. And when you got right down to it, not possible for our uses. Although it indicated that it would be when we purchased.
So you'll be getting the money back for the board?
We're getting a new board instead.
Oh, you're getting a different board.
Yeah. We're not giving up. We're not giving up at all. But it was a very weird technical sort of wiring. We watched videos and things, and people all had different aspirations of what they could do. But what it resulted in is the fact that this was primarily a board for live mixing, like at a concert.
Oh, okay.
And it didn't really suit our needs.
I think sometimes when you say you're an idiot, I never feel good when you say that. And I think you were surprised at my reaction. And when you say, after knowing me as long as you do, I'd love Josh to come in and say, Rob was brilliant.
He
doesn't
It was just
do
a
that.
complicated setup.
No, he doesn't do that.
No.
The board did what we needed it to do, but only through cell phones, not through a computer. Makes no
Exactly.
sense.
So I could phone in, and it would be great.
Hey, here's a programming note for bonus show subscribers. We will be interviewing the radio pal Ron Bennington, and from Sirius Radio, he will be joining us. And
Former coworker.
We'll get nostalgic, ask him about Ron and Fez, ask him about working with his family, what that's like, and some of the people that we cross paths with because he went up to New York as well, and he went on to Sirius, and we went on to Podville, and that's kind of where.
Did you know he's still working with Earl Douglas?
Yes,
I was shocked to find this out.
Earl Douglas was. I don't think they can't Do they still call him what they used to call him, or is that politically incorrect?
I'm sure both. I'm sure
Okay.
it is politically
Then I'm not
incorrect.
going to say it.
Me neither.
So anyway, for bonus show subscribers, that's just another pleat in your cape. If
Yeah.
you're a subscriber to the bonus show and you're a radiophile, you might want to check in the TMOS Extra with Ron Bennington coming up this week. That when I hear you say I'm an idiot to Josh, thank you for putting up with me. It reminds me of what we experience sometimes, and I think that I've always wished you to be more adept at technological things. So I'm surprised you thought I'd be happy about.
Well, I don't know that
it would
happy
not.
is
It
the
would
word.
make me frustrated. It would make me tense.
I think sometimes when you see me in a situation in real life where it makes me look foolish or not good, that's sort of the basis of the show. So when I brought up a situation that was, that me not being at my best, looking stupid, sometimes that's a good thing. And right away you didn't like it. So, but like if I had done something stupid at, say, a delicatessen or a pharmacy, you'd be
Totally
all over
different.
it. Yeah,
Totally
yeah,
different
you'd be all over it.
situation.
So that's where I misread it. And sometimes you don't react the way I anticipate.
And how did
And Rob,
you put it?
I don't think you were an idiot with this either. We just had to do some troubleshooting.
I felt like an idiot, and I felt frustrated, and I felt frustrated even when I got up this morning. I was mad.
Do you blame yourself for the technical problems?
I do.
Because that was last week's show.
I know, but
You
it
blame
is.
yourself for it.
I wish, you know what? Every time I had to go and never step towards realizing it didn't work, I felt stupider. I felt inept. I felt like it was my fault because I was the one who ordered the board. Even though we agreed it was probably the right board, I was the one who pulled the trigger.
We have, for this show, for people that don't know, we have 3 different locations:
Right,
Leesburg,
right.
Virginia, St. Augustine, Florida, and Southwest Florida, Fort Myers. I will tell you that's it, folks. That's the technical team that we have here. We have each other, and that's how it works. It's a small operation. It's why we are always, troubleshooting ourselves, and we talk about it on the show because there is not a team.
No.
A la Joe Rogan would have of people in the back. That Ron Bennington, we found out, has his little team that he works with. And Josh is our team, and you are the team, and I'm the team, and Carl is the team, and that's kind of how it works.
Mike, I should restate it. I don't blame myself for the board not working. I blame myself for inconveniencing the others that I had to do to get to the point to realize that it wasn't going to work.
And that's what you told me yesterday too. And it's not an inconvenience because it's what we have to do. It's part of the job.
Yeah,
we
but
have to
wouldn't
go
you
through and get this working?
Wouldn't you rather me just come home, plug it in, and say, "Hey, Josh, it's working great,"
That's
It's
and
not
not have and not
inconvenience
No,
for me
that-
either. It's not an inconvenience.
No.
It's an inconvenience is getting late night emails from Josh that stress me out. That's an inconvenience.
Did you get one last night?
Did I email you last night?
No, a couple of nights ago. Just kidding. That's a joke.
Was that? I
Making
didn't think
little
it was a
joke.
late night. Maybe
I
you checked your email late.
I checked my email right before bed, and it was horrible. I couldn't hardly go
Oh,
to sleep.
this morning I sent you an email at like 6 a.m. Nice and early.
No,
Yep.
you send them whenever you want. I like the communication. But
And but I knew this bothered Rob because even when we got off the phone yesterday, I texted him about something else, and his response is, "I'm in a bad mood."
It's true.
Even though he's walked away from the computer, we're done with troubleshooting it.
he's in a bad mood after the exercise.
Yes, I was in a
Yeah.
bad mood when I woke up today.
What good came out of your email to me the other night, Josh, is that I had. I think you would agree that when you emailed me about some issues you had, I emailed you back with a very, straightforward response, and it was positive.
Yeah.
And it was, and I think that positivity. And I know I don't. Do we have Soul on the advertiser list today? By any
Not
chance?
today. Not today. No.
Okay, well, we had him yesterday, but I'll give him a bonus plug here. I had, for the first time, put a toe in the water for the Soul gummies that I thought out of office. I thought that was like, I'm driving home and I want to get high. I have to be honest with you. I should know more about the advertisers, all right? I didn't realize that the nightcap gummies
Yeah.
were specifically designed that I talk about all the time, were sitting right in front of me. I thought it was a
Yes.
different product. So
Right.
once I found that out, and this would it be Sunday night, Josh, or Monday night? Sunday night. I think.
This
Maybe
was
Monday night.
Monday night.
Monday night. I have one of the gummies.
Delicious.
And I not only did I drift off to sleep after I had the email exchange with Josh, but the initial email, which really would have I probably would have been freaky all night long about it. I responded to it clearly, concisely, and then I drifted off to blissful sleep. So much so that last night, those gummies were on my mind. And if this is a commercial, it's not. This is me just talking about a product that we sell on the show that I really love so bad. And last night, I went with 2. Count them. 2 of them.
And he was
2.
out.
I don't know if it would be out immediately. I drifted off without hesitation.
I find about 45 minutes for me. If I take one of those sleepy ones,
exactly.
about
Probably in
45
that same ballpark.
Yep.
I'm going to get better. Here's the thing. I wake up this morning, and it's true. I love to just you wake up this morning, and I was, with an early morning where I have to take my kid to school,
right,
and we move our day up basically by an hour for me. It usually drags my ass, and I am just thrilled. So that is really, really cool.
No.
I feel like so
2
clear
was your
today.
dose. 2 was your dose then.
Yeah, man.
Perfect.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. I hear you, man.
I feel fantastic. I really do. It's just
It's
like,
it's
I'm
an amazing
afraid of that
product.
stuff, more
I know.
normal.
Well, Mike, it's so different than when we were kids.
Blissful sleeping.
Yeah,
Just,
none
that
paranoia,
little-
none hiding in your basement in the corner. It's
I
no
put
shivering.
I put Vint watches on. Guy that was restoring this old 1960
I thought
Rolex.
you meant you put all of yours on your wrist.
No, I put the video of Vint watches, which is the clip I played the other day.
Yeah,
and I just within 20 minutes I'm like la la la,
and
it's just
VINGT. Is that how they spell it?
VINT watches.
Oh, okay. So because
like vintage
with a G, it means 20 in French.
like
So
vintage, because the guy that's from a foreign country, I don't know which one, has a workshop that I would, if he was like in Fort Myers,
Yes.
I would call him and ask if I could part-time, and I'm not kidding you, apprentice with him.
That's
because
how I was.
That, to me, that kind of work is something I could see. Josh is right about the patience. I would have to work on the patience part.
Right.
But he's got the tools that are like for every finish of a watch you can imagine.
I was like that when I went and saw the guy that rebuilt all my stereo stuff. His name is Brett, and he died because he was horrible to himself in the 60s. But when you went into his shop, it was just wall-to-wall turntables and amps and tubes and everything. And it's like, manna. It's so exciting.
That
to see
would
that
appeal
stuff.
to you.
That's what I'm saying. That's my equivalent.
But it's also, I picture a hoarding kind of environment there, right? Probably not completely... Like
it was
what
pretty organized. What you have is the guy.
I've got
from
a
Toy
beautifully
Story.
organized workshop, and he turns his little belt sanders on.
Yes,
and like 7 of them go on at the same time, so he can go station to station. It's just so cool.
The old man in Toy Story that rebuilt Woody, that had the little drawers.
No, it's more like a beautifully efficient, modern watch finishing.
I don't
factory
think
the guy's
a
got in
watch
his
finishing
garage.
factory can be modern, Mike, because you're celebrating a technology that's past.
And
That is a good point.
I don't trust any garages that are that organized.
Now, why don't you?
Because they're not using the tools. They're displaying the tools.
Yeah. Does he have any pipe? Does he have any pipe and drape in his garage?
Can I correct you on that?
Yes.
In the spirit of my late great grandfather, Oscar Hamilton Perron, I have to say this: his was a showplace.
His garage.
And there was not a day he didn't use tools in his garage. I mean, his basement. And you would go down there and everything was laid out.
Was he to the level where that he had a pegboard? And,
Oh, yeah.
But wait,
have
when
a
he would
pegboard.
hang something on it, he would trace it so he knows that it would go
No.
back there?
No, he didn't need to. It was like old school.
Oh, he knew what was going on,
Lots of nails and 2x4s before they had pegboard. He was
and that was the problem, because you would build you a chair, but it was just made of 2x4s and nails.
I would imagine the most handy person of us, the 3 of us, Josh, I would imagine you have a bitchin' set of tools.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of tools in the garage. I've got 2 tool chests. And
Yeah,
I've got
look at you.
I did spend time organizing them a few months ago because I had too many.
How big is your ratchet set?
I have multiple ratchet sets.
See?
I do too. I have multiple ratchets.
I just have 2, but one's the good one.
Yeah, and I couldn't. If you asked me what was metric and what was not, I'd be screwed.
No,
I'd be
I've
totally
opened them
screwed.
both up and I see which one fits the mold.
That's kind of how. Well,
Yeah,
good.
it's-
Nice to know I'm not the only one that does that. Now, I want to move on to a really great day with my son yesterday.
You should give us an elevator pitch of what it was in case folks, God forbid, they missed yesterday's show.
Yesterday, the plan was that Michael, who after the fact yesterday mentioned some more grades that he got that were just incredible. The kid does a.
That's good.
the
It was
level-
good grades, not bad grades after the day.
Yeah, it would have put a damper on things. The given S factor of my son, which I don't think you can teach, is off the charts. And it's just so fun to watch because he is legitimately eclipsing Carla and I in many areas of his life already. And I think it's fun to be a part of that.
Not a number of marriages.
No, not at all. Well, he's too young for that. But, well, I'm not even going to violate his privacy on that. We did meet some special people yesterday.
You know what? I know exactly where you're at, and God bless you for respecting it to make things easier.
So he,
But I'll pass you that puberty video.
Oh, I made my own that I'm sending to Mike.
That's gross. The plan all along
And to
was.
use my selfie stick.
Are you done? Can I continue?
I wish you would.
Can I please continue?
You must.
All right. The idea was for about 2 months, maybe about a month and a half, to acquire these spring training tickets, and the plan was you can go to eat lunch with your student at school anytime at Michael's school. Our plan was to go and have lunch with him, which is always a nice surprise. He always likes it.
So he didn't even know you were coming in for lunch.
No, he didn't know, and you never know how long that's going to last. So we do it periodically, and then off to the baseball game. So you don't have to go back to class. You can
that's awesome.
Get your stuff.
What
And
time does
was
he eat
thrilled.
lunch? Because I remember elementary
11:30 in the morning.
being early. And what did he have, and what did you have for lunch?
He had a little pasta dish, and what did I have? I had chicken, kind of a roast chicken and rice dish.
An entire chicken?
Yes,
Is that what
an
they serve
entire
there?
fried chicken. It was so cool to walk in.
When
And
you
yes,
told him you're taking him, what did he say to the other friends at school?
Good question.
I didn't, because we did it right at the end when they were walking back to class. He says, "Guys, I'm going to the Red Sox game," and it's like he's running around and he's just. We got it. It was.
Did any of the kids yell back, "F you"?
F you? What it was it was kind of a Christmas morning vibe. That's how.
Oh, that's cool.
That's
That's
how it went
awesome.
over. And I thought with the other, with the other guy taking him, a guy who I met yesterday, as a matter of fact, at the ball game to say thank you for taking my son to the game. We really were excited to see the reaction, and it was off to the ball yard.
That's awesome.
But now, do you want to hear about what happened at the ball game or before that, where I had my audience of 11-year-olds?
I think what we should do is move in a linear pattern, and let's start before the game.
I found my audience, and all the memories of being in school and getting people laughing came back to me, and I am doing voices for them. I did my whole repertoire. I did Blue Christmas as Porky Pig. I'll have and I've got four teeth-showing 11-year-old boys who are really laughing at my stuff. And then what really sealed the deal right now, Josh, you can relate to this. 11-year-old humor is, there's a lot of inappropriate, there's a lot of death, there's a lot of murder, that type of thing.
Bodily fluids
They're
at all?
discovery, perhaps, but not on this angle.
And
Yes.
some stuff that they don't quite understand, but they know is
Right.
funny.
Yeah.
Right.
If it's
So-
prohibited, it must be funny.
And they don't know the boundaries yet. My
Right.
son certainly doesn't. And but they start doing a thing where Michael says to me, "We're doing Goofy," and I said, "Dad, do Goofy." I said, and he says, "Hey, Dad, was Goofy a murderer?" And then the teeth all come out where they're all like,
Wow.
Having Goofy, and I'm like, I got a body in the trunk. Well, they're falling off their chairs.
Well, that's
at this
pretty strong
particular
material,
moment.
Mike.
Yeah,
That's
well,
good
I went
stuff.
all the way with it. It's
And he-
like, I got duct tape wrapped all around the body before I bury it. And they're laughing
Are you
like Rob is laughing.
Are you getting any attention from the adults around?
I could have been, but I was so engaged with my audience that I did not pay attention to that. And it's like, and then it was, and then Michael took it too far. Moving it into the school. I'm like, no, that's not funny
like
for school.
killing a student or killing a teacher.
Or it just was general, but it was weird. And then I pulled
those
off
are
of
advanced
it, but,
concepts, Mike.
Oh
for,
yeah,
for
and then I did
11-year-olds.
Donald Duck. It's like, and it's just and I said, I'm really pleased that my material went over. And
Did any of the
Carla
kids
looks at me and
ask-
says, yeah, with 11-year-olds.
Did any of the kids ask you to do Gregory Peck?
This is Gregory, but what about the boy?
What about
the boy in the cafeteria line? But
It's funny. You reminded me, Mike, of 11-year-olds. The level Robert was at, he came home laughing once. And I remember, because I wrote this down. I thought it was so funny. He said, what's so funny? He said, lunch today. And I said, what? He says, well, it was macaroni and cheese, but we were calling it mac and sneeze. And I said,
you and
because
I still
it's
laugh
like,
at that.
and
right?
I said, because it's like snot, right? And he said, yeah.
It was great. Then off to the old ball yard. Now, two things. The bad, I'll give you the bad before the good. The bad is, I don't know. Rob, you do many, many more events than I do. And Josh, you are a veteran of going to sporting events. Yes. I occasionally will acquire an inexpensive ticket to the minor league hockey team down here, or an inexpensive ticket to see spring training baseball.
Yeah.
What I do, and what I found yesterday, is that when you go on these websites, sometimes there is a different platform that the seller uses compared to what you're using. And there are two big ones. StubHub and SeatGeek is another one.
Isn't StubHub owned by your dog?
Stubby?
Yeah.
No, because then it would have one blue eye looking in the other direction.
And then the tickets would poop on you.
Yeah.
But Major League Baseball seems to have done a good job pulling both of them into the Ballpark app.
Yeah.
You have to use the Ballpark app.
You have to use the Ballpark app.
Well, once again, I do not know what I'm doing. And
I had to use the Ballpark app, Mike, to see Paul McCartney because Paul McCartney was playing at Camden Yards.
See,
so all of his
savvy.
tickets were routed through Ballpark. Yeah.
You're savvy.
Right.
We are on the way to have lunch with Michael. That's when I dive into my phone, where I remembered, at least somewhat, that I had been sent a mobile ticket. And once I saw your order has been received and confirmed, blah, 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 I didn't think twice about it. Oh. And your tickets are, whatever. I spent the better part of 20, 30 minutes trying to find these tickets. And,
could Goofy find them?
It's in the body's in the car. I'm going to bury you underground. Anyway, so big fun. And I don't know how, I couldn't tell you how I eventually found them. But
Did you involve your son? Did you have to put him
He wasn't there yet.
We
were meeting him. Carla's driving. She says, "Did you find them yet?" And I'm going, click, click, click. No. Did you find them? Where are they? I said, if I knew where they were, I would have them by now.
Yeah, I think it normally makes you go to, you have to accept them in the StubHub app and then transfer them to the other
There's
app.
a bit of a process, but I thought...
And it always feels like witchcraft that it's going on.
In my addled brain, I thought, I know I've done this. And then Keith Morrison, who lives right down here at the bottom of my brain, I said, I think I've done this. And Keith Morrison says to me, or have you? And so that's the doubt that is thrown into my mind. And I finally find them. But hey, StubHub, I know you've got all the technology for charging your insane fee.
Convenience
for
fees.
Your nothing fee, which is what it is.
Yeah.
It is a nothing fee. But they know, hey, they look at credit card companies and look at that business model that screws Americans and says, that and they says Arnold Schwarzenegger comes in. Go ahead, charge whatever you can get. Because people are excited and they're toddlers and they're going to an event and we're going to charge you. I forgot what the fee was. for $48 tickets.
I can tell you what my fee was 2 weeks
insane.
ago for a $90
for
ticket.
two tickets?
No, for one $90
For one ticket,
ticket.
how much was the fee?
$42.
It's
$42 in fees.
What is the deal? Well, I
And,
mean, how
and it's
are we allowing
actually
this to
cheaper.
happen? What's going
It's
on?
cheaper to run Ticketry now because they don't have to actually even print tickets. They don't even have to have people at Hex to run the Ticketmaster
Give
franchise.
that number again, because that is a beautiful number. 90 plus for the tickets themselves.
Just in rough terms, $90 for the $40.
$40.
Yeah, about 44% charge on that upcharge.
Oh,
Yeah,
almost half.
Yeah.
For the secondary market, I only use TickPick because it gives you the price with the fee built in.
I also
They
use
say they don't have a
TickPick.
fee, but I
Yeah.
just assume it's built in.
I use TickPick for my dog, where if you get a tick, it allows you to remove
You used
it.
that one. Rob used that on himself when he was really had a lot of body hair, and he used to roam fields all the time.
I used to go shirtless into the wheat field,
Yeah.
and it was great. I never felt better.
He was a great intern once we got him off the habit of chasing deer. But anyway, so we get to the game, and I finally figure it out, and I really was relieved. I was to the point
Yes.
where I was going to throw myself, because you do get discount tickets at the very last minute, where I was going to acquire 3 more tickets. That's how I was so freaked
No
out.
fees
that
at
I
the
guess
box office. You would have.
I,
It would have been great.
it was, but I got it. I got the tickets. We go there. It's a hit. We surprise him. I do an I have my audience of 11-year-olds. It's great. I've got all his friends there, and we're off to the ball yard. Here's the cool thing. All right. I had mentioned before that when he went with that other guy,
Yeah.
that he was down behind home plate, and it was
He was
just
in the
great to-
TV shot of every batter. I mean, there were sensational seats.
Josh being a baseball guy, I was located on the first base side grandstand, which means
That's
the
not bad.
grandstand is you're in closer to the field, but you're up high.
Right.
You're up way higher.
Yeah.
And I'm here to tell you that the Boston Red Sox are going to the World Series this year, ladies.
This
and
is
gentlemen.
the earliest prediction we've ever had. Write it down, Josh.
They will
March
be going
12th.
to the World Series, and the breakout year will be experienced by a first baseman on the Red Sox known as Tristan Casas. He is the guy, and this is why. So, during the game,
Place your bets.
During the game, they're playing the Phillies.
Hateful
And-
town. Philadelphia is a hateful town, Mike.
But I'm surrounded by them. I'm surrounded by these people, these hateful,
Yeah, use
tank top
cheer.
wearing old men. By the way, hey, if you're over 65,
Yes.
I don't want to look at your scrot arms. Okay.
Oh my God, this is really-
Don't wear a sleeveless tank top when you're over 65.
Scrot
it looks.
arms.
It seriously looks like I'm looking at a corpse arm. All right, please.
Did it look
sleeve
like
up?
like a relief map?
It's so gross. It looks like the crack of somebody's bony butt. It's
Yeah,
just
there's-
nastiness.
There are dark spots.
Yes.
There's wrinkles. There's
You're not.
change
And,
of
and by the
texture.
way, if you don't have the guns, don't wear a tank top. Right?
You're right.
Why are you showing your arms? Is it something where you want to get more air?
Well, Mike,
It's a chilly day at the ballpark. Anyway,
they wanted
you
to
know?
air out that leathery skin.
God. And when that person slides in directly in front of you, makes me throw up a little bit in my mouth. You know?
Oh dear.
It's really guy in this neighborhood that does it all the time. It's like, God Almighty, man, you're almost 80. Put the tank tops away, please. Even if you're an old fart that has guns, maybe I
Yeah.
can tell you, but not an old man with average old man arms.
Yeah. You
No,
know who
it's
should
by the
not.
way-
You've got that afternoon sun. The guy's going to be sitting there sweating.
Yeah.
the whole
Actually,
time.
we were
No
out of
good.
the sun. Joshua was actually cool. But, I mean, here's an old man arm right here, all right?
Right.
That's an old man arm. That is not attractive.
No.
So I'm not going to show you all the way up to the shoulder, and it's just so
You know
grossed me
who
out.
would be a good example of it is on White Lotus, Uncle Rico this season. I don't need to see him in a tank top because he's all leathery.
He's leathery and unpleasant to look at.
He is. And you
Because
know
he's
what?
so leathery.
He wasn't that great at his prime, and he's worse now.
Right.
So wear
And
a
you know
parka.
what? Walton Goggins is not a spring chicken anymore either.
I don't
right?
even know I would recognize him on the street because he looks so different in everything he does.
It's just disturbing. So we are in section 209.
Oh, that's
which
a
is,
good one.
First base grandstand.
Right.
And it's spring training, so it's not a massive ballpark.
Right.
But
Is it the one we went to?
yeah.
Is it JetBlue Park?
Yeah, the mini Fenway.
Yeah, it's a beautiful park. It's great for watching baseball.
And then probably I want to say third inning. The first baseman comes
Third
out,
of 9, Mike.
throws balls to the guys to warm them up. You know that, baseball fans, where you throw the ground balls and that's how you warm your infielders up. And then at the end, excuse me, you have 2 first basemen. You have there it is.
There's your view.
There's my view.
Boy, there wasn't a lot of tickets sold yesterday, were there?
So that is exactly where we are. Only if you show that again, and imagine being higher up. All right,
Right. So you're a few rows back.
We're a few rows in back of that, and we are still below the screen. So it's that.
Okay.
What you're seeing
Midway
is the
up,
aisle that goes down to the box seats, and then we're in the grandstand. So in order this is what some of the players do. They toss the ball over the screen to people.
Right.
And in the case of where we're sitting in, they really have to peg it if they're ever. And he's throwing it to the people in the lower areas. And I'm like, oh, we're not going to get. I said, Michael, when he's ready to do that, jump up on the seat and wave your glove. Michael brought his glove to get a foul ball, as kids do. And lo and behold, in the third inning, he jumps up and he waves, and Tristan Casas kind of waves his glove at him, like nods, and he throws a rope up to section 209. My son doesn't flinch, catches it on the fly, and the crowd goes wild.
That's fantastic. Now, I have to ask a question.
Better than any fly ball, any foul ball could be to me. It was so neat to see him catch a throw from a major league ball player.
I have
loved
to
it.
ask Mike, you say he brought his glove. Didn't you really bring his glove? Because you knew you were. So did you have his glove in the car?
He had his glove in the car.
So he
took it. Yeah,
Okay.
he took it from home.
Oh, that's great.
He knew that he was going to maybe be in a section where he got it, and it was absolutely fantastic.
I had
to
the
see
same
this
feeling when Julia's boyfriend was in his flamingo costume throwing hot dogs into the audience, and he made it up to the upper level. I couldn't have been prouder.
Very, very exciting. Very
He made
exciting.
Sports Center,
It was wonderful.
as he told me a lot of times.
It was wonderful. And then leaving.
Yes.
And Tristan Casas has 1 hit so far in spring training.
Yeah, he didn't look good yesterday.
But it was a
either.
good one.
A great one.
This was a great one.
And then in the joy of the moment,
Yeah.
as we are walking out, my family had to wait for me because I had a little problem, little urgency that I had to deal with.
Oh, no, at the ballpark.
At the ballpark. Not where you want to go.
No.
But, you
was
know,
there a line
When it
to
goes-
get
no,
to? No,
no,
good.
Got right
good.
in. Thank
Yeah.
God. Thank God.
Was it
And then-
reliant? Was the urgency because of the roast chicken, or was it because of something at the ballpark? Because I imagine you probably got a snack at the ballpark, or at least your son did.
I think I can blame the urgency on Charlie's choice.
Hey, there's a lot of great side effects, Mike,
Yes,
and
there
that's
are.
not a side effect. That's a feature.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've had the
Did
same
the Red
problem
Sox win?
at JetBlue.
Yeah,
I
they
remember
got
it wasn't
creamed.
too bad as far as spring training stadiums.
No, it's pretty good. And Josh is a connoisseur. He's been to a lot of ball yards, so he knows.
Spring training, they're eating a lot of salads, so
a lot of roughage.
I don't even know what that means. Did the Red Sox win?
No, they got cream.
Oh,
They got-
damn
they
it!
got
I'm
the
so
crap-
sorry,
they
but
got
they're
the
still
crap
going to
to
get
go.
that ring this year.
And by the way, got to walk down to the good seats and meet the guy and and his wife that took Michael to the game with his buddy.
Did he pretend to remember you?
He didn't remember me. I've never met him.
Oh, okay. So he didn't. You had to introduce.
No,
yourself.
my friend knows him.
Oh,
and
okay.
that's-
So you're
and my
once
friend,
removed, yeah.
another older father. That
No,
has
this was a good move.
kid. And it
You
was,
had Michael with you, so you had
Yes, yeah. I went down there, and there
Did you
he
hear
was.
them
And
charge? Did you hear them cheer for my boy?
the. Was there an empty seat next to him?
There were 2 empty seats next to him.
How many innings did you spend down there?
I just went in and shook hands and got out of there. I thought that was the classy thing to do. That we weren't coming down simply
No.
to mooch
No,
on
that's
their
good.
seats. That's
No.
why we did
That's-
that.
You should have
a good
gone
way
down
to
and
handle
said, "Hey, Thurston, I brought you some popcorn."
Shut up.
All right, here's a bucket hat.
It was very cool. And it was on our way out. So it was.
I brought you a
me-
Dune popcorn bucket.
It was meet the nice guy that gave a
That's
nice,
good.
a nice
Yeah.
afternoon. It was urgency, and then the last thing, all the joy of the afternoon was almost completely sidetracked by the wall of inflation, as I like to call it, the
Oh, dear.
wall of unchecked inflation.
Unchecked, exactly.
As we went by the mini donut food truck.
Now, is this
And-
outside the ballpark? Targeted advertising for people leaving the ballpark?
It's just out there, if any time's a good time for a donut, right? And
You don't.
these
You're
are-
preaching to the choir.
These are freshly made, and it was $15 for a bag of 15, which I said, hey, that's pretty good. What I didn't realize.
Hold on a second.
Well,
That's
but they're
$1 per donut.
They're mini,
$1
so they're
per
size of like a donut hole.
Yeah, it was so
Oh.
small. They were so tiny. The dough, the profit margin, I don't
We're
know
ta-
which is worse.
we're talking
the ticket
small,
fee,
Arthur.
the convenience fee, or the dough. And so I come out of my place, and
Your place.
after urgency, you're really ready for a bag of donuts, and
Something
so
to
we got a
soothe the bowel.
we got a bag, and I guess Carla had 6. I had 12. No,
You're already at 18. This
no,
doesn't check out.
wait. It was a bag of 15. All
Right.
I know is there were 4 left.
Okay,
And-
so
and
11 were
Carla-
consumed.
And Carla takes a bag out. It looks like this. Here's your. I said, why is that so small? There are 4 donuts in it. She said, because they're really small. And I'm sitting there with it in my mouth, and I'm looking at her, and I go, these are $1 each. The fuck is wrong with that?
Oh, no.
And it's still the joy of the ball. It was fine. And then it was home and writing letters to casinos. That was the gist of our. It was a pretty good little Tuesday.
Well, Mike,
it really was.
Ernesto has sent in a super chat to help you get those new pants after the game.
I think that's really nice.
New pants fun. Every day, someone will be contributing to the show with help for me when I want to. What was it yesterday? What was the thing? Oh, the groceries yesterday, right? Wasn't it? What did we get?
No, you got a super chat yesterday
for
what was it? I remember it was 1999. It had an ended in 99.
What
it
was
was
he
for your
doing?
pills. It
That's
was for the
what it
pills.
was.
My drugs.
Covered your pills. Now,
Now, let me
Mike.
try this. All right.
Oh, God.
Hey, super chatters out there. Boy, I really wish I could buy that new Ping golf club.
Right.
That's on sale for $239.
Or at least just help offset the cost. You super
Yeah,
chatters, you.
Right. I've got a tea time today, so if
terrible.
you want to send a super chat,
Yeah, super
Yeah.
chat. We did get a
Oh, Mike,
coupon
I just
for a
have
free
I,
dessert.
I do
Yes.
need to clear this up. You said that the Red Sox will go to the World Series. Will
They
they
won't.
win it?
Haven't made that call yet.
they won't.
Okay,
Los
but
Angeles
as of,
is a pretty tough juggernaut.
and that's the Dodgers, right?
The Dodgers, yes.
Fernando
that's great.
Valenzuela is still with them.
No, he's
Steve
on the
Garvey?
street. He's on the street selling little expensive donuts.
I think he passed actually.
Yes, little
Sorry.
tiny
Sorry to
expensive
say.
donuts. We're going to take a break here, and you're back to the old board, right?
Yes, exactly.
All right, I thought it was something new.
Never left.
Never left. That's good. That's a good thing. But a new one's on the way, right?
Yes,
New one's-
exactly.
Well, that's exciting too. Just excitement all around. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we've got roundtable news for each and every one of you. But first, this program is sponsored by Liquid IV White Peach. Yum, yum.
Oh, so good.
I put 3 fingers of vodka in it today. Treat yourself. Treat yourself by getting yourself the everyday indulgence of extraordinary hydration from Liquid IV. It's powered by Live Hydroscience. That's a registered trademark. You see me drinking it daily. I don't like to do the show without Liquid IV. Flavors to beat the band from grape and lemon lime to pina colada. Holding hands in the rain.
They were looking for each other. That song.
Now, I avoid the sugar-free raspberry lemonade because I'm not a raspberry guy, but you'll love it.
What about
I
the
like
French fries?
I like the white peach.
I've got this right now full of raspberry lemonade.
Are you a fan of the raspberry lemonade?
It is. It's not as good as white peach. but I do like it.
I still, I like the white peach, but lemon lime is still my jam. I love that lemon lime. That's
White
good
peach
stuff.
is the best. So money. Also, it's basilic.
Wow.
Unlike sports drinks, Liquid IV delivers 3 times the electrolytes, 8 essential vitamins, and is always non-GMO, vegan, and allergen-free. I have been telling you these facts for years. Listen up, jerks. Please try some Liquid IV. Hey, Rat, you won't regret it.
God, you're the greatest.
The lady will have the linguine with white clam sauce and a Liquid IV white peach.
Hey, Rat,
Ten
you left
Pour more.
you left your wallet at my house.
Hey, Damone. Treat yourself to extraordinary hydration. It is extraordinary. They say that a lot.
Hey, I just realized Ratner sounds like Henry Winkler.
Oh, my. I can't hate Henry Winkler.
Don't
Liquid
hate
IV.
He's cool. Come on.
Oh, yeah, cool. Get 20% off your
the
first order of
Fonz.
Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use code TMOS at checkout. And Henry Winkler, everything's a surprise.
Mike.
That's 20% off your first order with code TMOS at liquidiv.com.
The
You were gonna
Fonz
say something?
invented cool, all right?
All right, very good.
Come on. You didn't watch Happy Days?
Yeah, but it was a very, very difficult thing to realize Henry Winkler had, kind of flipped and been.
Well, he's short.
turned
He
into like,
he never
"Hi,
played
here I
short.
am."
I know, yeah.
Bill Burr really doesn't like billionaires. And Elon Musk specifically. Bill Burr, we can all agree, one of the funniest humans in stand-up comedy. I could watch old episodes of Bill Burr on Conan O'Brien, and he makes me
You know what they
laugh.
say? Burr is a billionaire. He put the bill in
What
billionaire.
meds did you take today? I'm very curious.
I had a bad day. Bad night.
During an interview with NPR, Bill said, "quote I won't do a Bill Burr impression, but I might try. I'm trying to get regular people to stop yelling at each other and realize that it's a select few, a group of nerds eating raw almonds and doing their stupid workouts and competing with each other to have the biggest infinity pool. And the rest of us are getting pushed down. They've politicized the whole stupid thing, and we're falling for it." So he was asked to clarify who he was talking about. He
Yeah,
said,
I mean, that doesn't seem like a good fit for NPR.
said who he was talking about. He said, "That idiot Elon Musk, who evidently is a Nazi. I just refuse to believe it was an accidental 2-time Sig Heil." And he does it at a presidential inauguration. Yeah. Then Bill razzed liberals for not being able to take on, quote, one guy with dyed hair plugs and a laminated face.
This is on NPR.
Bill Burr. I think Bill Burr might do. I know he pre-writes some of his material, but he might just do that.
I think
for
it's
the
in
moment.
deep in his soul, the hatred. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, one guy with dyed hair plugs and a laminated face who makes a bad car and has an obsolete social media platform. He added, quote, "Why are we so afraid of this guy who can't fight his way out of a wet paper bag?"
Wow.
Bill Burr. Can you imagine that on NPR?
Yeah, I was going to say, people.
Would you like to clarify that, Mr. Burr? Would you do
Welcome
that,
to
please?
welcome to Fresh Air. We are joined by Bill Burr.
This is NPR for Wednesday.
And then you're back. Turn down that stupid music. I got things to say.
Mom! Universal Pictures. Okay, I'm sorry. Sometimes I side with celebs. Sometimes I don't.
Okay.
Color this one is I do not side with the celebrity of Scarlett Johansson. All right?
Okay.
Universal Pictures tried to get Scarlett Johansson to join Instagram to promote Jurassic World Rebirth. But she resisted. She says, quote, now this is the social media thing doesn't bother me.
Okay.
She says, I get a lot of pressure to join social media. The work that I put out there is all based in truth. What, Jurassic World Rebirth is based in truth?
Sure.
That's the key ingredient. So,
No,
these are her
doesn't she mean
quotes.
what she puts out on social media
I don't know.
or what she talks to publicists about?
You know what?
That that's
It's-
where the truth is, that it's really her.
I suppose that's what's going on. Her quote is this: "If I was a person who really enjoyed social media, then I could totally get on the bandwagon, but I'm not, and I think the film will do fine." All right. So
No, so she doesn't do Instagram, so she says, I can call this newspaper and tell them about the movie and how I don't do Instagram.
So what you're saying is she's being a hypocrite.
No, I'm saying she's doing it her way instead of Instagram.
So calling
Instead
the
of social
newspaper is
media.
her Instagram.
Yeah, doing
She's
it the
still promoting the
old-fashioned way.
movie.
She is, yes, and I'm talking about her right now. I just plugged the movie Jurassic World Rebirth. So there you go. So maybe she actually did do her job for the movie. But here's what
It's better. It's better than Harrison Ford, who goes
does
out there
he do?
before the movie comes out and says it sucks.
Yeah, he'll do that.
I don't think I want to promote this movie. I think it sucks.
Have you ever seen Mark Hamill do the modern Harrison Ford?
No, is
Oh,
it good?
God, it's funny.
All right, another thing she does. This is what she won't do.
Okay.
and that's take pictures with fans in public.
Oh,
Here's
that's a
the-
dick
that's
move.
rude.
That's
Here's
a
the
dick
quote.
move.
Here's the quote. It really offends a lot of people. It doesn't mean I'm not appreciative, of course, that people are fans or happy to see me. That quote in and of itself shows the disconnect.
Yeah, it is.
But I always say to people, I'm not working. And that means I don't want to be identified as being in this time and place with you. I'm doing my own thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
But Mike has the same policy for Jimmy.
He does.
No pictures.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
I wonder how her husband, Mr. Johansson, feels about it. Colin
Jost.
I bet he'll take a picture with anybody.
But I mean, come on. I mean, look, I'll give you an example. Yesterday, Tristan Casas, who has had one hit in the spring, the Oriole fan mentioned that to me.
Yeah.
Throws the ball to my son up there, and I looked at him. He got pleasure out of that. That's fun.
Yeah,
to
but
toss a ball to toss a ball to the fan, and then Bryce Harper, who just rolls it into the dugout and in his surly way walks into the dugout. You know, I mean, I think that part of we don't necessarily. Don't you think that most people that get in the business of show do it because it's a look at me thing?
Of course. Of course.
And you finally achieve.
And that quote shows that she's completely out of touch.
Yeah.
Totally out of touch but if she embraced it, it would be fun. What if you're making Bill Murray knows this?
Of course.
Bill Murray walks into a wedding and gets pictures taken with
And
people.
I hate to say it, Tom Hanks too. Tom
Hanks
knows,
gets it too. He knows.
He knows how to do it. And she is charming and lovely and the whole thing, and this sours it. She could be the total package if she could figure out a way to make herself just seem accessible to her fans.
Yeah, so bum me out.
It does. It sucks.
It sucks. It's a drag, but you know.
Dean Z was the same way. He wouldn't pose for a picture.
The Elvis impersonators. Lauryn Hill and Wyclef Jean of the Fugees performed at Roberta Flack's funeral in Harlem on Monday. I love this story, even though they weren't supposed to. They made a surprise appearance and
great.
did The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face and Killing Me Softly. Before they started, Lauren told the congregation, quote, "We weren't formally asked to do this because I think they were a little shy about asking us to attend. So we kind of bum rushed the service because it really wouldn't be possible for us to just stand by and not participate."
That's
That must
awesome.
have been a moment.
Yeah.
Stevie Wonder also performed his song, If It's Magic. So I just
That's the
I love
harp
that.
song from Songs in the Key of Life.
Yeah,
That's
and
beautiful.
I love the. It must have. I can only assume that since that went public, that they, that the family must have really been.
They had to
grateful
be out of their
for,
mind.
having that moment.
Quick
for her.
sidelight is when he released the album, Stevie did that album and that song was on it. There was an acclaimed African-American harpist that played. It's just harp and his voice.
Right.
And when he performed the album live on tour a few years ago, he, in honor of this late magnificent harpist, I wish I knew her name, he played the original track from the album, but sang against the original track because he wanted to honor her. And I wonder if he used that same harp track at the funeral, because it's a beautiful, chilling song and very
It does,
cool.
all these little blips that I get out of this funeral service sounds like it probably was a very sweet event for
Now,
a very
She was
sweet
beloved.
singer.
She truly was. Yeah.
Not to put too much on this, but they were comfortable asking Stevie Wonder, but not Lauryn Hill to perform.
Well, they didn't tell Stevie where he was.
That's terrible. Let's move on.
I don't know why Josh writes these horrible jokes, Mike. It's really
According to a
tasteless.
new survey, the average American experiences peak burnout at 42 years old.
That's when Elvis died.
But younger adults are already feeling it. Around 25% of Americans say they start experiencing burnout before age 30, with roughly 90% of their working years ahead of them. And Gen Z and millennials, currently aged 18 to 44, say they're reaching their highest point of stress at an average age of just 25. I programmed 2 radio stations at the age of 25. I was fully engaged in my career at the age of 25, and I probably experienced, grown-up time stress with those 2 jobs. I remember I did.
Yeah, but you have the youthful energy to sort of fight it. When you're 25, you're not beaten down. You rise to the occasion.
I will tell you, I guarantee you, in my mid-30s, I was already thinking about, wouldn't it be fine just to hang out? And not. I think I can get these stats here. In most cases, that's before, with 25-year-olds, that's before the classic stressors like managing career advancement, raising kids, caring for aging parents. So what's driving the early burnout? In the poll, financial concerns.
Yeah.
Number 1 stress, followed by politics, work-related pressures, physical health concerns, and relationships. Unfortunately, the trend isn't expected to change. About 33% of Americans are bracing themselves for what they anticipate will be their most stressful year yet. And a whopping 83% of the people in the poll believe that entering adulthood today is more challenging than it was just a decade ago. Also, 72% think that becoming an adult will only get more difficult in the next decade. How do you boys feel about it?
I don't know. If things were really tough right now, maybe I would do something like start grinding my teeth or clenching my jaw uncontrollably. Oh, yeah, I'm doing that.
So you agree that it's getting more
and
difficult?
I think you said at
adulting.
42, that's when let's just play broad games here. At 32, it would be 42 rather, it would be very, very likely that you would have about a 12-year-old kid because you get married at 30, you have a kid.
Right.
And so if a kid is 12, that's when you're starting to think about putting them in college.
Yep.
And they're growing up. That's one of the greatest stressors we ever did is 2 kids through college. Thank God it's almost over. But that would be, financially, that's the worst. You can't.
Older folks in this poll were more likely than young adults to agree. Josh, I'm sorry.
I think smartphones and social media and internet all has made it worse. Because with the phone, you're never off.
Yeah.
But
I also think 42 is a great age to really shake things up and get a new wife.
Wow. Let's just let that land for a second, shall we?
Yeah.
I'd have
new
to check
wife.
my numbers over the years, Josh, and see what's going on.
Time for a new wife.
Rob has one, and I have one too now. there.
Stop that.
Let's just take a brief moment to ruminate on what Josh said there. There it is. That's interesting.
What about the wife? Does the wife get anything out of it?
Yes,
when
she
she
does.
turns 42?
Yes, she does. She gets a
Way
handshake.
too much.
Way too much.
Sometimes she gets a lot. Who knows?
Yeah. See, I had paper, Rob, when I did it, so I couldn't say things like that.
Yeah, I understand.
At the moment, this close. Let's get. I need get my swoosh, please. Thank you. Finally today, police in Franklin County are looking for a man they say broke into a person's apartment and hit the victim in the face with a frying pan. Once the victim opened the door, 3 males forced their way into the residence and physically assaulted him. Don't skip ahead, Mr. Spiewak.
I won't.
By punching him in the face and head, also striking him with a frying pan. The pan was observed with significant dents in it, according to court documents. The victim suffered swelling and a fractured cheekbone. 2 of the 3 assailants were masked. According to investigators, they say the unmasked man was finally identified, and they gave a name.
Oh, they did give a name, finally. That's
Yes,
good.
They gave a name.
What was the name?
Shemp Howard. Thank you. That's a Stooges joke for those of you that enjoy the Three Stooges.
Beautiful. And do you know how bad Shemp's life when he was 42?
Now, I have to,
Okay, stop the music.
We don't need to ruminate. There's ruminate I used again on the the serious business of comedy. But
right.
Would you have gone with Curly or Shemp? It was tough for me.
I actually would have gone with Mo.
Mo,
to be perfectly
yes,
honest,
okay.
because he distributed the hits more.
Mo Howard.
But Shemp is a funnier word.
Shemp is always has been, and Shemp is always a good punchline for Stooges jokes. We'll take a break. When we come back, ladies
Died
and
in a
gentlemen,
cab, Mike, but you knew this.
So much to choose from here. Bathroom stalls. That's the
good.
one.
Yay.
Yes, sirree. I'm gonna sneeze.
Don't
I don't
do
want
it.
to. Look at the light.
Every time Mike sneezes, you're a winner. Yay, winner,
God,
winner,
thank
winner, chicken dinner.
Oh, my God. Wow. Hey, groovy listeners, first off, we want to thank you for all the support you've given TMOS for all these years. We couldn't do the show without your help. But lately, we kind of feel a little like His Holy Father, Pope Francis. That is to say, we could use a little boost. It's that time of year. It happens. It's always every year around this time. You dig what I'm saying? You feel me? If you want to help out, it's never been easier or more fun. First, get a bonus show subscription.
Please.
This week, for bonus show subscribers on a TMOS Extra, we'll be chatting with Ron Bennington. So much cool extra content for you if you're a subscriber. Then, check out our page on the World Wide Web. That's MikeO'MaraShow.com, everybody. The site's chock-a-block with ways you can help TMOS continue to provide the free shows every week. You can subscribe to Charlie's Choice. I showed it a moment ago. Here it is. Charlie's Choice. Delicious coffee.
Charlie's Choice.
Or buy a mug to put it in. Just like this one here. Right here. See?
Yummy.
There it is. I got the mug. Yeah. All right. How about a TMOS? Hold on. How about a TMOS Loud Cup?
Oh.
There you go. Look at how prepared I am today, everybody.
You have all your things.
Yeah. It's a TMOS Loud Cup. We even have dog collars, hoodies, even stickers.
Oh, I got an urgent email from Carla today. We're down to one sticker. So
One
please,
sticker.
someone buy that sticker. Please.
Okay.
Right away.
Anyway, help us out. Your favorite podcast. Please get involved. Spread the word. Check out our store. Josh has done a wonderful job with the TMOS store with all sorts of very cool stuff there. And us, we promise to be extra funny for ye. For ye.
Yee.
Every day. Because we love you. And you are our family. Thank you. And don't forget, we have a little cruise coming up in December. And we
Yeah.
have a little appearance. Oh, look at that. Oh, hey, I love that.
Just
Oh,
the
I've got it
logo?
all prepared.
Oh, my God. That's awesome.
That's
Will
great.
that pop up every time we mention cruise?
Sure.
We'll be going to the Bahamas for a cruise on the weekend of December 5th.
I give that about 5 minutes before Mike says stop popping that up every time we say
I like
cruise.
it. Every time we say
Well, now
cruise.
you do.
Yeah, because it's new. Look at that. TMOS Love Boat 2025. You take it off so quickly I can't read the dates. I always want to make the dates. Oh, the dates aren't on there.
It just says 2025. It's just a logo.
Excuse me.
Just write down, it's in early December. That's all you need to know.
Bathroom stalls. Yesterday I mentioned urgency at the ball.
We don't need
That's
that,
the
Josh.
Jimmy's. That's the Jimmy's.
Well, if you want to talk about bathroom stalls.
We'll be at Jimmy's for the Kentucky Derby party too, coming up.
Yes.
So that's everything promoted. That was our. The horses are at the track, and they're off, and it's fecal urgency. Fecal urgency by a nose. Bathroom stalls. What did you want to say about bathroom stalls, Rob?
This is a survey. Sometimes when you look at a survey, you have to look at it in the reverse. Not the people that answer to the positive, but the people that sort of stray. And so I'm going to read this sentence, and I want your reaction, okay? This is from the Bradley Company, noted survey takers of the Bradley
Is this Milton Bradley's company?
No, I don't think it is.
Is this Bradley's department store?
The department store with a difference?
Yeah, Bradley's, right?
Yes.
Bradley's was nationwide, wasn't it?
Yeah, I
back
think
in
it
the day?
was. But this is Bradley Cooper is who did this.
Okay. Yeah, in his Civil War outfit.
His bad sideburns.
And his golden Bible.
He is
golden
not
Bible.
far from looking like a really bad-looking person for someone who's considered a heartthrob.
Yeah.
If you watch this episode
I know.
of Gemstones, he is really close to looking horrifying.
He is.
Yeah.
In this
And-
particular episode.
and he
I
has
think if
two-
he cleans up, he's fine. He's
Two
fine.
different colored eyes. Did you know that?
Bradley Cooper does?
I just made that up.
Like my dog. All right,
Yes.
can we move on,
Yes,
please?
please.
Jesus
50 Mike,
Christ.
hey.
Get him, regulate his meds, Carrie.
It's not her. It's the doctor. We're working on it. 53% of Americans wish public bathroom stalls didn't have gaps in the door. Okay.
Amen.
But
Yes.
Mike, why does only 53% of America want that? There's
I didn't pick up on that
47%.
stat. I didn't pick up on that.
47% want them? And why? Why?
Hey. Yeah, well, it's like yesterday
to
when I was
check
at the
out the shoes.
ballpark. You know,
Hey, you want to see what I'm doing in here?
You got a wide stance.
yeah. There you go.
So, Mike,
That's
45% also prefer it when the door goes all the way to the ground. Okay, so there's 55% that want some space between the ground and the floor.
When I
And the door.
when I was an ill-fated bar owner back in the day, The
You owned
very
O'Mara's,
first thing,
the bar with a
O'Mara's.
difference, right?
The very first thing I did was modernize the bathroom stalls because they
remember.
were those metal, horrible, generic stalls that get rickety and massive gaps. Probably still a gap when I put the new ones in, but not the same kind of gap. And it was very
like at a
important
school.
to me. What's that?
Like at a school.
Like at a school, the same
Yeah, the old
metal
style.
rounded door edge.
Yes.
That does it. Now, if you go to Happy Valley
Yeah.
or some of your finer institutions, you can have the full-fledged door and a room to walk
Yeah.
into.
Mhm.
And
A
I'm not talking about
bathroom.
I'm not talking about a bathroom. I'm talking about a bathroom stall with a door that closes. That's perfection.
That's nice.
You know?
That is nice.
That'd be
Is it
called
like-
a water closet.
A water closet. Very
Is it
good.
a pocket door or a swinging door?
The
It's a
you
curtain.
mean when you go to Happy Valley?
Yeah.
It's a full-fledged door.
Wow, that's living.
Now
That really is.
that's why if you're ever on 95, Buc-ee's is the place to stop at
Clean.
because there's about 50 of those doors.
Yeah, it is overly clean. It's scary clean. It's like
Why can't they all be? Why can't that be the industry
because
standard?
Buc-ee's sells $9 popcorn bags to offset the bathrooms because they can't make money on the bathrooms.
But I mean, when you're on the road, especially the Super Slab 95.
yeah.
I mean, come on. You ever go through South Carolina? I don't think there's a shitter in South Carolina that
what is
doesn't have
with
a
you?
coat of film on it.
Change
you know?
your meds today.
I mean, really, it's not pleasant. As a matter of fact, when we were on the road, and Carla said to me, you want to stop here, and I'm like, and it looked really clean from the outside. And
Sure.
I walk in, and it's horrifying.
That's why you have to have your favorite places to stop. I always, if I want cleanliness and it's a few minutes out of the way, south of the border is beautiful. It's like a 5-star hotel.
When
No,
I'm
that's like the worst place you can stop.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I almost couldn't complete the task that I went in to do when I saw the bathrooms.
I stopped there over the summer for the kids
It's
because there was an
horrible.
emergency. Had to
Yeah.
get them. They now have people that sit there and like watch the door.
Good. Yeah. In
By the
case
way,
someone
when-
sneaks in some Windex.
I-
What
I'm
are
on
they
the road.
afraid of?
when I'm on the road and I have to use a bathroom, I do the same thing Rob is. On 95, when I'm close to the North Carolina, South Carolina border, I go a little out of my way and I go to a wonderful facility in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Well, there's now a Buc-ee's in Florence, so you can hit. That's what I hit while driving up on 95.
And everything it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
All right. I here's to Buc-ee's. Maybe build more of them.
Well,
Fantastic.
Mike, Buc-ee's is always a little high on gas, and it's a tourist experience that they want you to buy things.
They're the cheapest gas around here.
Oh, when I drove from Miami back home 2 Christmases ago, Buc-ee's was always a few cents higher, is what we found, because I think they offer more at the actual location. The
Does it have a
bathrooms
mascot? Does Buc-ee have a mascot?
Yeah,
yes,
it's a
I have a
beaver.
Buc-ee. It's a beaver. I have a Buc-ee's
I've got
on my.
a bobblehead and a plush on the other side of the monitor.
Ladies and gentlemen, we need your help at Mike O'Mara Show.
You can buy. We can sell all our.
I'm working
Buc-ee's
with two
merchandise.
guys that have Buc-ee's merchandise.
Just the magnet, because I told Carrie I'd buy her something on the trip.
Very, very
So
exciting.
I bought her. But Mike, also back to bathrooms really quick.
Yes.
86% wish bathrooms in high traffic areas, which I assume is most bathrooms, had a display outside that showed how many open stalls there were.
Wow.
That's sort of specific. Dude,
I
mean,
like
you
it.
really
I
need
like
that?
all of it.
One
I
of the
like all
new
of this.
bathrooms at BWI has that,
Really?
where it's got a little red or green light.
It's like a parking
lot.
garage. Yeah, exactly. 47%, if given their choice, Mike, nearly
I'm
half.
going to say something gross right now.
Good, go ahead.
From the stall yesterday at
Yeah.
JetBlue Park.
Yeah.
It was fine. It was clean. It was very clean. However, the toilet seat had kind of a permanent orange hue on the back of the seat.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah.
What
That's-
happens is,
that's-
Mike, a lot of
that's
times
nasty.
a
So no
toilet
green
seat.
or red light.
Well, red is really problematic, isn't it?
Buc-ee's. I want to take a dump at Buc-ee's today, and it's like far away.
Mike,
I know they're
the-
building one down in Fort Myers.
Yeah, I
Pardon the
think
pun, that's
Daytona's the closest for you.
It's a good, pardon the pun, that's a good bucket list item.
Well, Buc-ee's on the bucket list.
Now, how about this? 47% wish that people would add timers to the top of each stall so you can monitor how long people are in there.
all in. All in.
What's it, a
Can you
game
imagine
now?
that? That would be, how about, really, what if, now what is the way?
The Chinese have stall timers already. It's very common in China.
But they do it like in the ball games. They have a digital monitor and you get 7 minutes. That's reasonable.
I think you could get by with 5 if you really wanted to move some
Not
traffic.
me, buddy. Not
Well,
me.
if it's urgency, I mean, you got to do it.
Well, no, it's not the urgency nearly as much as it is the fastidious nature of my post-dump workout. Where I am, there is no, it is a thorough, almost to the point of pain clean that I leave every stall.
Is it horrible when you'll excuse the pun again, playing an away game and you don't have your butt buddy or whatever that
the
bidet
clear
is?
rear?
Yeah, the clear rear.
It's not horrible,
forgive me for calling it butt buddy.
But you get used to a certain level of hygiene with the clear rear that you,
Now you got to
you
go
would
out
never,
to the sink.
yeah, you would never invoke the sink, would you?
No,
Because when you're in Buc-ee's, you have the privacy, but there's no sink in the water closet.
No, sinks are public.
You would have to make. Could you
that
bring a
mean?
bottle of water, maybe?
No, you could do it. You get away if you were flexible. You could just jump on top of the sink and bring a spoon.
And that's why
if
I've never returned to Costco.
If the water pressure was good enough,
Sure.
just hop up and.
But the hard
save
part,
a
Mike, is if they have those ones that are motion activated.
Yeah, I
You have
know.
to
'Cause it
throw
runs
your
out,
ass
and then what are you
back
gonna
and
do?
forth in front of the fridge. It looks like you're dancing. Mike, in China, this is the button on the story.
Okay.
In China, they do have those stall timers, and it is common to shame people that stay in there too long.
I think.
And
having a
I don't
timer
think we
on
do
would be-
enough shaming in America.
I think it's great. I think shaming should be a part of it, and putting a big timer, digital timer, like they have for the pitcher when he's got
I
to
was
throw
thinking
a
like
pitch.
one of those atomic clocks I used to put in radio stations.
Just
with like,
just giant red letters.
Yes.
Just a little bit big enough for everybody to see.
Maybe
you
some
go in,
sound
you sh-
effects in the stall to really put the pressure on you.
It's like you go how about every 5 minutes you get, my God, what are you doing in there,
or
man?
Mike, something to really set the mood of like you sit down, and I guess it would start when you like lowered the seat, and then the timer would begin, and you have 5 minutes. Should you choose to accept the challenge?
When time runs out, does anyone ask if you need help?
Yeah,
Your
would you like to phone a friend?
defecation is over. Please leave the stall.
Now you're making it like a roller coaster line. The gate just opens.
That's right. Thank you and enjoy your ride.
Good luck. More shaming. I agree with Rob. More shaming.
That's
ladies
the
and gentlemen.
takeaway from that. We're going to start shaming everybody. You know what? And it starts on the cruise.
Yes. The cruise of shame.
Have your stopwatch ready.
That's what we'll do.
Where's Dirk?
Hey, we'll take a break, and when we come back, ladies and gentlemen, boy, I just don't know where
So
to
many
go.
things.
So many things. I'll surprise you.
Mike, just follow the sun.
Follow the sun. Hey, everybody, it's official. My hair is graying like Bob Barker's did. So, it's so sudden. I want to cover the gray up, but home hair dye kits are a mess, and the salon is a hassle. So, keep it simple. Simpler Hair Color has a full variety of shades to match any guy's hair and beard. I got the light brown, and I can't wait to use it. With Simpler Hair Color, there's no need to buy a separate hair, beard, and touch-up product. A single can, beautiful can, by the way, beautiful can, has you covered for all of them. Plus,
I love cans.
I love it. I love my hair color. Yeah. One can of Simpler Hair Color provides as many uses as up to 4 boxes of drugstore hair dye. Simpler Hair Color was started by 2 friends who endured the mess of home dye kits and the harsh ingredients of salons for years, so they developed their own hair dye formula for men. The choice is simple. Simpler Hair Color offers gentler ingredients, a cleaner application, and unlike other companies, there's no waste. That's why their mission is to become the #1 men's hair and beard dyeing brand. Plus, Simpler Hair Color offers free shipping and free returns, so you can try Simpler Hair Color risk-free. Say goodbye to Grays. Goodbye, Grays, the easy way. He's wound up today. Say goodbye to grays the easy way with Simpler Hair Color. Head to simplerhaircolor.com/TMOS and use code TMOS for 10% off your order. Once again, simplerhaircolor.com/TMOS for 10% off, and make sure you use the promo code TMOS so they know that we sent you, ladies and gentlemen. I wrote down Delta Airlines, and I know you've wanted to talk about it for a while.
I have.
Tell me about what is wrong with Delta.
No, it's not anything wrong. They're
It's good?
Yes, they're reinventing air travel, and they have some shots, and I think they must be like CGI, of the new plane they want to debut. Look at that. Isn't that something? How about that?
Looks like a bat.
Jet Zero is a California-based startup, and they are bringing that plane to life. And the notion
Are they actually going to be purchased by Delta?
Yes, and the notion is that Delta wants to have carbon neutrality, which means no carbon footprint by 2050.
Is that an electric plane?
It is a different type of engine. So
Do you know how many people can fit in that?
How many?
I don't know. I'm asking.
Yes, 250 travelers, and it's quieter. And because the engines
How close is it to reality?
Here's the inside,
Yeah, that's the inside,
which
with
tells
more
me
room.
it's not real.
Yeah, it's like fake prototype AI.
Yes.
This is what it looks like.
They want to have a demonstrator ready for a maiden flight in 2027, which is not that far away.
Who cares?
Oh, Mike, he'll still be alive.
I don't think so.
Yeah, the engines are on the roof of the plane, so can we see the beautiful shot again?
Yeah, is this the fly to DC or Mars?
That is.
Doesn't look aerodynamic to me. Looks like things fall right out of the sky.
Oh, you got to
Too
keep
fat.
moving forward. You got to keep more. Mike, also because of the height of the plane, more overhead storage.
Looks
They're
like a
very
tick.
excited about it. It does look. Do you
Ticks
really,
in the news again.
Do you really hate it?
I don't know. It's not that I hate it, but I mean, I wish that with prototypes, I wish it was always like 6 months. That would be the time. When's it going to be debuted? 6 months. You say 2027,
Mike, that's
you might
only
never,
2
you might not
years.
ever see it again. I was all excited. You said Delta Airlines, and I thought that we were
Mike,
going to have some story
That's
about
only
Delta.
2 years away. That's it.
Yeah, but I mean, are you sure it's going to work?
100%. I mean, they said so. It's not going to fall out of the sky.
I'd be more. You know what? I'd be happier with streaming services that just would give us some American content.
Did you? Well, speaking of airlines, did you see Southwest is changing?
Yeah, they're doing.
yeah.
What are they doing? They're doing something new
They
as well.
charging for bags.
Oh,
After all the campaign of bags fly free,
Yeah.
now they're
By
charging.
the way, when you talk about inflation, it's just traveling. I talked about the fees that they're charging for tickets, but traveling, it's just it seems to be getting more and more insane. It's not just eggs, people. It's a lot of.
I will
different
say,
stuff.
well, Delta's no longer serving eggs of any sort on board. Hard-boiled, Benedict, all of it canceled. This might be just a PR stunt by Delta because they're saying that they're being, thought forward on reducing their carbon footprint. So
by
this is positive.
2050.
Yeah, if they start a plane,
No,
in
that's what it says in the article. It says net zero by 2050.
But they're making the effort to, start. where
I
no
think
other
you're way
airline
ahead
is.
of it. You're way
Am
ahead
I
of
overthinking
things.
it?
Yes, you're
Yeah.
definitely. We'll see. We'll have to wait. And by the way, as far as inflation is concerned, I think they're getting a price index report coming out tomorrow. It leads me to a question I was going to ask Josh about here, and we can maybe explore this at a later time. But Josh and I are very aware. You couldn't not be aware listening to this show of each other's politics. But a question to ask somebody who is I don't describe you as a full go to the rallies MAGA person, but you're definitely vocal about your support. Here's a question I would have for anybody at any level of Trump support, and God knows there are lots of people that are. What would he be? What would he do? What is something he would do that would legitimately piss you off if it happened?
There's a few things he does that I don't like.
Okay.
I don't like how he flip-flopped on TikTok. Either TikTok's dangerous or it's not. It doesn't matter how popular you are
So
on
the
TikTok.
flip-flopping is something which
So I
which
don't like
would
that.
say, yeah, that's okay.
Because
that's interesting.
you told me for years it's a problem. And now suddenly it's not because you got young people on it that like you. And then yesterday, I didn't like the gimmick with bringing the Teslas to the White House.
Did they bring Teslas to the White House yesterday?
Yeah. Now he spoke it. There's a lot of people like firebombing Tesla dealerships and attacking Tesla dealerships. So he put out a thing about how that's domestic terrorism, which I agree with.
I totally agree with that.
But then he purchased his own Teslas and brought them to the White House to encourage people to support Elon.
Which is, in a way,
weird.
Supporting a private company, which doesn't,
right. So I don't like
taste
that.
right. Okay,
right.
all right.
I like the speaking out about the violence, but not that move.
I like the phrase a flip-flop on TikTok. I think that's a T-shirt. I think we can really run with the rhythm of it. He likes to flip-flop on TikTok. Yeah.
I have a question. My other question would be, do you get any sense that that this guy who seems to have a true hold on the Republican Party could lose that grip at any point? Do you think it's possible? Do you think with the success, the political success, could you see we were talking about burnout in the young people. Could you see people getting burned out? I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't, because I think he's got a different segment of the Republican Party where the Republican Party is changing into this new direction with him.
Okay. I used to work with a former congressman, Joe Walsh, not the rock and roll guitarist, but the former.
Yeah, I know you doing, Rob.
His podcast on politics wasn't as good as the other Joe Walsh. But Joe Walsh called himself a reformed Republican, and I always liked the notion that the Republican Party of today is not the Republican Party of, say, 30 years ago. And so it's changing to a point where I think the Trump Republican Party is eventually going to split off, and there's going to be a third party of some sort introduced.
Well, there was a lot of talk about that before this past election.
Right, but I think this past election is sort of sealed it, because if our current president continues to alienate people hunks at a time, as he appears to be doing, they have to go somewhere. And if they're too proud to become Democrats, the third party is what's going to happen.
I think it really depends on results.
I do too. But I see it could definitely go against him.
And I also, look, and I don't care if I piss people off, all right? My own party, I agree with Bill Burr. You don't know how to fight. You got to learn how to fight. You really do. You really have to learn how to fight.
And that comes from within. I think there's a lot of Democrats that feel that way.
Well, it's very difficult to can I tell I'll give you an analogy that's not necessarily a sweet and pretty analogy, but it's an analogy just the same. When you're talking about beating somebody like Donald Trump, who is obviously good at picking on people and doing that. He's good at it. He's good at fighting. He's
a bully.
He's a fighter. The guys that know how to fight, and I hate to say this, and I'm not advocating it, and nor am I saying the best fighters are the fighters that are gonna stop when they're pulled off you, that are never gonna let go. They're gonna be pit bulls. They're never gonna, and it's not a good way to be. I don't possess that chip. Right. I would not be a good brawler because I don't want, when I get into a fist fight or an altercation, I don't want to kill somebody. I really don't. You got to almost have that killer mentality to be successful at it. Once you have that, you can be successful. Isn't that horrible? And the lack of empathy helps you with that.
And I think we do ourselves a disservice to speak of politics as A or B when both parties have their own divisions within them.
But
and different people that see different segments.
I do feel that the current Republican Party specializes in A and B choices, making things a total white or black decision with no shades of gray in the middle. Because when you simplify decisions, and this goes way back in history, if you simplify decisions where there's no gray area, it makes it easier for the electorate to pick a side. When in fact, there's almost never a major situation that doesn't have some solution in the gray area.
Yeah.
But they ignore it.
I'd love to see us get back to that. I really do.
I would.
I really love to see it. Well, wait. And Josh is absolutely right. 1,000% right when he says, wait for the results.
That's what you got to do.
That's the only thing that matters.
And give us a reasonable waiting time. How long do you think we should wait?
2050, when the plane goes in the air.
Well, you're off the hook with that one, Josh. You don't have to answer that.
No, I'd say midterms.
Midterms? Okay, very good. We'll see what happens with that. We'll take a break. We'll come back with some beautiful
Mike,
video.
it's so pretty.
And lots more fun and thrills on the Mike O'Mara Show. We just got through a political discussion, and there was no blood.
No.
Isn't
I'm
that
voting
nice?
for Bucky's.
Bucky the Beaver. What memories do you wish you could relive or pass down to your kids? Are they trapped on VHS tapes or film reels, and you just aren't sure where to start? Hey, calm down. We have found the perfect solution.
Thank you. I was really getting out of hand.
Legacy, you wrote it. Legacy Box. Legacy Box is the simple and safe solution for digitizing all your family's precious memories. Plus, when you go to legacybox.com/TMOS, you can enjoy 50% off when you get started with Legacy Box today. Legacy Box, started by two buddies in a college dorm room over a decade ago, and they rocked it.
Yeah.
Since then, they have grown from a team of two to the largest and most trusted digitizing company in the world. Right now, when you purchase a Legacy Box, you get 90 days free access to Legacy Box Cloud, which is the easiest way to stream, share, and download your memories.
Think of it,
It's
it's
like
awesome.
Netflix.
Yeah.
And that's why Carla's going to get me another Legacy Box with my mother's video for her 80th birthday in there that I can share with everybody. Isn't that right, Carla? She's not here. I'm talking to the air. It's like Netflix, but for your home movies. You can stream
Josh,
your vids
We've lost him.
or your pics anywhere. Download. I tend to be always looking over here.
And you know what? With your setup, she could be there.
No, you can't take the tape off. Oh, sorry. Anyway, download, organize, and save them and store them securely.
Yes.
The Legacy Box Cloud brings peace of mind. Go to legacybox.com/TMOS to save 50% for a limited time only. That's legacybox.com/TMOS. Legacybox.com. TMOS the code. There
Very
you go.
good.
You
Hey,
got
I
it.
like that. Some beautiful video.
Oh, Mike, Wichita is all-American.
In Wichita, K-E-Y-N, All-American.
All-American in Wichita, K-E-Y-N. And now we move on without interruption.
Let's
to
do
the
that.
Very fact, Mike, with some very sad news today.
What is that?
You have a past.
The Mike O'Mara Show. TMOS.
You have a past in top 40 early morning radio.
Hey,
you,
everybody.
you probably know the name Bob Rivers.
Pacific Northwest DJ.
Exactly.
Was with Baltimore for a while.
Yes.
Was in Baltimore. Moved out to Seattle, I believe it was.
Yep.
That was his market. And he
You
was
nailed it.
known for his song parodies.
He died. I thought he was older than this. He passed of cancer, age 68.
Oh, that sucks.
And here's an interesting fact
That's
that
a drag. We made fun of him, but he was a
But,
good
I
guy.
mean,
He's a nice guy. I met him once.
Did you really?
Yep.
He did a lot of conventions and stuff. Apparently, he was liked within the business quite a
Yeah,
bit.
he was a good guy.
The reason that he got the pickup to move out to the Pacific Northwest is, did you know he did 258 straight hours on the air because the Baltimore Orioles were in a losing streak? He was a stunt disc jockey.
Oh, the years ago, the Orioles
Yes.
had one of the worst losing streak. Wasn't it like 21 games or something?
21 games. in
Yeah.
98.
21 games.
I think he started at 11 losses or 12 losses. He started the bit.
And he stayed on the air.
He did
That's a great stunt.
258 hours, and that was in 1989.
Wow.
But he did contribute. He spent a lot of time. He did Twisted Christmas was an actual album he did.
Yep.
And I think the biggest hit from that was Walking Around in Women's Underwear, to the theme of Walking in a Winter Wonderland.
Okay.
But let's remember him with his most recent. This was the last thing he posted before he fell ill. This is from 2020. It has a video, you see?
Oh yeah, you might have something. I hope you'll understand. Let's not do the dumb thing. Don't wanna shake your hand.
That's a good one.
Don't wanna
He
shake
still was
your
better than most, wasn't he, Rob?
You know what? It's not. It's the phrase "damning with faint praise" comes to mind. but
Yeah, but
he
I'm gonna
was
tell
the
you,
best parodist. There was.
He was a good parody guy.
Yeah.
He was. Look, there are too many of them, obviously,
Yeah.
from DJs, obviously. But that's a shame. He's a very, very creative guy, and
Also
that's a shame.
indicative of an era that
Yeah.
isn't around anymore. Because I don't think
Absolutely.
there's enough mass consumed music that you can parody modern records easily.
Well, and I don't have enough TNT anymore to blow them all up. So,
Well, Mike, I know you'll
that.
be sending a small pipe bomb to the funeral.
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about one of the originators of that stuff, he's one of the first to do it on a regular basis. So
and I didn't know about the radio stunt, which brings me more respect to him.
Yeah,
somehow.
great stunting.
Yeah,
great
good
stunting. Absolutely.
in the day. Mike,
There's a great segment on YouTube about the stunt from This Week in Baseball.
Do you have
where
that?
Mel
Can we
Allen
watch a little
did
of that?
Did a news story on it.
I'd
do have it
love to
right
hear
here.
some Mel Allen. Yeah.
How about that?
Hello there, everybody. This is Mel Allen.
Hi, Val. This Week in Baseball. That video is 100 years old.
Josh has this on a DVD at his house.
This was me every Saturday morning at 8 years old.
In
This
Baltimore,
Week in Baseball.
man, they're talking nonstop blues.
We were looking to have Bob on the
Here's
air
Bob.
and tell the Orioles one to sort of galvanize the city.
Does everybody hate the team now?
Up on TV
I'm
Hill.
Mel Proctor along with John Lowenstein. You know, John, when I left for the airport this morning, my neighbor said, "Where are you going?" And I said, "Well, I'm headed to Kansas City to see the Orioles play." And he said, "What? Have you lost your head?"
Yeah, they've chroma keyed their heads out.
No, the
I don't
Orioles have
understand
just
why.
plain lost. In fact, going nothing for 20, their first 20, they tied the American League record for the longest.
Good read, Mel.
It
God.
goes on for 5 minutes.
Wow.
40
Yeah.
years ago when Mel Allen was old.
Super nice guy. R.I.P. to Bob Rivers. Absolutely.
That's sad. I love, now you have me thinking of Mel Allen, the final part of the Naked Gun movie when they're showing like baseball outtakes and crazy plays, and a lion or a tiger runs on the field and kills the second baseman, and Mel Allen says, "How about that?"
How about that? Yeah.
Okay, this is weird. I ask you to stay with me, but this is the greatest conspiracy theory I've heard in a long time.
Okay.
The problem is that it's 3 TikTok videos and they're all in excess of 7 minutes. So I'm going to give you an example of the lady that's talking about the conspiracy, but then I'll break the conspiracy down for you. I want you to, when you watch this, think of the movie The Freshman with Matthew Broderick and Marlon Brando, okay? But this lady has a brother or a stepbrother who's on a fishing rig.
Off, okay, the storm starts to calm down or whatever.
Down. That's Baltimore.
And they ended up going to port, and they went to a different warehouse, and they took this siren to a different warehouse. And it was set up like a restaurant. Come to find out, these clientele, he had sonar machines and everything to track these things down. Okay, like
sonar
stuff that you would not even believe.
Further south than Baltimore with that dialect.
And they were all there. The crew was there and everything else. And
so essentially they're saying that mermaids exist.
Oh, they're all over the internet.
But Mike,
over
this
with-
is an angle I hadn't heard, is that they're called sirens. They don't necessarily look like pretty women. They look a little disfigured.
Yeah, a little monsterish.
But
easier to do the makeup.
These rich people capture the sirens / mermaids, which exist, take them to the warehouse, and they eat them. But it's only for rich people.
Yee.
Which is the plot of The Freshman.
I have seen some of the weirdest stuff. They're generally people in caves, and people coming out of caves that are all disfigured and stuff. There's a lot of CGI. I think AI might have something to do with some of these creations that we're seeing right now. It's weird stuff. Very
but
weird.
I'm not much on seafood, so I don't know if I would eat it.
It's siren.
Now, you guys were talking about flying in the airplanes with Delta and Southwest. At least you didn't have this happen on your flight.
On a Southwest flight at Hobby Airport that had to return to the gate after a woman on board took off her clothes before departure and demanded to be let off the plane.
But not before passengers say she tried to get into the cockpit.
Of course.
This is video one passenger took before the woman was removed from the plane. Jason Miles is live from Hobby Airport.
This guy.
With more on the incident and advice for if you ever find yourself in this situation and are flying soon. Jason.
Jason Block.
Hey there, guys. As you know, spring break coming up for a lot of folks. This place will be really busy next week. Obviously, issues do arise on airplanes. In this case, passengers appear to do exactly what experts suggest.
All right. Let's see what happens.
A Southwest flight bound for Phoenix Monday
This is a
afternoon failed to
disaster,
make it
isn't
far
it?
from the gate before passengers say
Oh,
this
there
woman
she is.
suddenly got up and got undressed.
She turned around facing us and stripped all of her clothes off.
A passenger who did not want to be identified for personal
Because she didn't want to pay for her
told me
bag.
the woman removed everything from her hat to her shoes. Then
Is that
began
him watching?
shouting while walking.
This is a
What
new.
was that cutaway?
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on,
All right.
Mike.
What was that? Yeah.
That was a new technique I'd never seen for someone doing a phone interview.
Right.
They did a shot of
him like with headphones down, and he's going.
But even better before that, the Channel 11 microphone laying down by his cell phone, which is just plain weak.
I have always thought when I'm on an airline or when when I'm flying, I think to myself, how does this happen? Because doesn't it always the overwhelming majority of flights are chill experiences once everybody gets on there.
But
Sure.
it's
quiet, Go ahead.
It's
Josh.
anxiety and over medication.
Yep.
Yeah, and
absolutely.
booze. People
Yeah.
get boozed up.
Oh my God.
I do like my takeaway from that. I mean, the story is amazing that the woman would undress and do that. But when the reporter told me that next week the airport was going to be busy, that was a game changer. I had to write that down.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
he
thank you.
actually said from the top of the escalator,
Take note.
next week this place is going to be busy.
Woo!
Woohoo! Hey, Blockhead, we're sending you to the airport.
Go to Joe Blockhead at the airport where he lives. There we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Joe
Thank you.
Blockhead?
That was like a laugh burp that you had.
I know, it caught me
That was a
unexpected.
laugh burp. I like a laugh burp. That's good stuff. All right, what else? do you have
Let's
for us?
close with this. You would think that of all contact sports, you probably would be safest person to person if you ran relays. I mean, there's very little danger that can happen.
Oh, I know this video you're going to play.
Watch what goes on here. It's a women's relay. Got the batons.
It's kind of cheating. Boom!
Yes.
She does it on purpose.
Yes.
Oh, wait, was that her own?
Yes, she dropped her own.
Oh, so that's not on purpose.
Well, she said it wasn't on purpose. The lady who got hit said it was on purpose. Then the lady who hit the lady.
Hold on. I watched this on the news the other night, and I thought it was that's a competing runner that she's dealing with, correct?
Yeah.
So maybe, Now, all right, roll it again.
Okay.
When you look at it, and now you know this is a competing runner, and it makes total sense. It was completely on purpose.
Just to keep in mind that the lady who hit the other lady said it was an accident. That's a lie.
Yeah.
The lady who got hit said it was vindictive and on purpose. I believe
because
that
it's
to
a
be
competitor.
true. But then the lady who hit her said it was an accident and I'm freaked out and I should be getting the sympathy because I can't believe I did it. So it's a beautiful Alec Baldwin control the narrative
Let's take a look.
moment.
Let's
All right.
you be the judge and jury. She's just passing her by. Oh, no. That's
on
rear
purpose.
back and hit her as hard as she can.
Yeah, here we got it again.
Changes.
No, there's no.
See, that's
guilty
bad.
as charged. Camera don't lie. Come
And
on
you know
now.
what's really sad, and I don't know if your news story told about it, the lady who got hit was Steve Dahl's niece. And it's just been a horrible family. Did I say Steve Dahl?
Yeah,
I meant to say
what was
Bob
your joke?
Rivers.
Oh,
it was a bad week for the Rivers family. Bad week for the Spiewak family, too.
well, that's well. Hey, it was a good show right up till the absolute end.
You know, no one's listening now anyway, so.
We'll take a break. We'll come back tomorrow with a brand new episode. Get your tickets for the cruise. They are on sale right now.
Aren't we, Mike? Tomorrow is
michaelmaryshow.com.
when we're doing the 258-hour podcast, isn't it?
It's very, very exciting. Yeah, to celebrate Tristan Costas not getting any hits. We'll see you tomorrow. For Josh Roca and Rob Spiewak, Mike O'Mara saying, so long, everybody.
You see, Steve Dahl is not Bob Rivers.
Want more? Make sure you check out the Mike O'Mara Bonus Show. Get it at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
Thank you.